Hello class, in this final video for section 2.2, I'm going to solve a couple of problems for us. In the last video, I believe I solved question 15, so I think I'd like to work on a few of the other problems. And again, remember, the answers to all of these can be found in the back of the book. So let's look at number 10. I'm going to rewrite number 10 over here. So we have negative 2y minus 3 times the quantity of y plus 1, and that equals 7. So I'm going to distribute the negative 3 to everything inside the parentheses. So this negative 2y, I don't touch it. But negative 3 times y is negative 3y. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3, and that's going to equal 7. And now when I combine like terms, negative 2 plus negative 3 is negative 5y minus 3 equals 7. And then if I add 3 to both sides, I get negative 5y equals 10. We divide by negative 5, and you're left with y equals negative 2. All right? I'll leave this work up for a second, and then I'm going to erase it and tackle problem 12. Okay, so I'm just going to, if you want to pause and just look over my work, that's fine. Okay, let's try number 12. Okay, I'm going to rewrite 12 over here. Okay, so I've rewritten number number 12, let me just put a little arrow next to it. I rewrote that up here. And again, the first step is I want to get rid of my parentheses by distributing. So I'm left with 2n minus 12 minus 3n equals negative 4 plus 1. So we combine like terms. So the 2n minus 3n becomes negative n minus 12 equals negative 4 plus 1. And on the right side, we can combine the negative 4 and the 1. So I have negative n minus 12 equals negative 3. We're almost done. If I add 12 to both sides, I'm now left with negative n equals 9. And if I divide both sides by negative 1, I'm left with n equals negative 9. And that's the solution for problem number 12. All right, again, maybe you want to pause the video, take a moment to look at this, and we'll go from there, okay? Okay, let's try a tough one. Let's try number 19. And I'm going to rewrite 19 at the top, okay? Okay, so you can see I've rewritten number 19 here. And the first thing we're going to want to do is distribute to get rid of all of the parentheses. So I'm going to distribute this negative. Think of that as me distributing negative 1. And distribute the negative 3 to get rid of the parentheses. So the 8 stays where it is. Negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. Negative 1 times negative 4 is positive 4. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. And negative 3 times 3 is negative 9 minus 18 equals 0. So I'm going to change colors of my pen just to show you me combine like terms, right? So I have a negative 2x and a negative 3x. I'm going to put those together. And then I'm going to put together the numbers. So this 8 and the 4 and the negative 9 and the negative 18, I have to put those together, okay? So let's start with the numbers. So 8 plus negative 9 is negative 1. I'm sorry, 8 plus, right, so here's 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 minus 9 is 3. And 3 plus negative 18 is negative 15. Right, so again, if I add everything up with the green line under it, I should end up with negative 15. Okay, next, I'm going to add up the variables, right? So this negative 2x minus 3x is negative 5x. And on the right side, I have 0. So now if I add 15 to both sides, or I could have added 5x to both sides, I'm left with negative 5x equals 15. And then divide by negative 5. And you see I get x equals negative 3 as my final answer. Okay, and you can always check your work by plugging negative 3 in, plugging it in for x here and here. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Let's take a look at some of these translate problems. It says translate each statement into an equation and then solve and check. So I look at number 20, and it says 4 times the difference. And actually, let me erase some of this stuff just to give me some more room here. All right. It's my little eraser tool. Hopefully you copied what you need. All right. So number 20. 4 times the difference between a number and 1 is 12. So I know the word is means equals. So I'm going to write equals 12. And then it says 4 times. So this is 4 times. And then the difference between a number. So we'll say x is equal to a number and 1. Right? So the difference between a number and 1 multiplied by 4. Right? So that's what they ask us to do. Now, it does say solve and check. I don't think I'm going to do the check, but to solve it, I would distribute the 4 to get 4x minus 4 equals 12. Then maybe I would add 4 to both sides to get 4x equals 16. I would divide by 4 to get x equals 4. My handwriting's a little sloppy, but that I gotta fix that because that was really bad. X equals 4. That's a little bit better. Okay, that's what they're looking for number 20. Those are good test questions, right? If I look at number 21, I'm not going to solve it, but I'll just show you what they're looking for. The sum of 5 in a number, so 5 plus x. So we're saying that a number is the same thing as x, right? You see a number, it's x. So the sum means addition, so I add 5 plus x, but then it says multiplied by 3. So I have to take this whole thing and multiply it by 3. And that is 31. Remember, is means equals. And that's what they're looking for, right? 3 times 5 plus x equals 31. And this is a 1. Okay? All right, almost there. Let's take a look at the next problem underneath. I'm going to scroll up. Okay. All right, so it says write an equation that represents the cost of this party for more than 12 people. So it says the cost of having a party at the country club is $500 for the first 12 people and then $45 for each additional person. This is a really tricky problem because if you think about it, so let's say that y equals cost and x is number of people. Let's write PPL. But it's really number of people over, I guess, over 12, right? Because the first 12 are included. So initially, my cost would be, let me erase the 81. Right, so if y is my cost, well, I'm going to pay $45 for each additional person. So no matter what, I pay $500, to rent the club, and that covers the first 12 people, right? So it's 500 plus $45 times each person over 12. So if I do x minus 12, right? If 12 people attend, right, I would put in 12. 12 minus 12 is 0, so 45 times 0 is 0, so it'd be $500, right? And that makes sense, right? The cost is 500 for the first 12 people. So if x equals 12, then I don't have to pay the 45. So it'd be 12 minus 12 is 0. 45 times 0 is 0. Okay, but what if I had 20 people? Right, my cost would be 500. Right, that covers the first 12 people. And then if 20 people attend, remember the first 12 are free, so only 8 people after the 12 pay this $45, right? Because each additional person over 12 pays the 45. So I'm left with 500 plus 45 times 8, right? Because 20 minus 12 is 8. So that's 8 people over the 12 pay the 45. So my final answer, right? So my final answer would be, looks like 45 times 8 is 360. So y would equal 860. Okay. And then for letter C, we know what the cost is. It's going to be the 770. We just don't know how many people are coming. So you would have to solve this problem. 45 times x minus 12. So you'd have to solve that to figure out how many people are coming to get this 770, right? You got to figure out the value for x here. Right, so just remember everything you've learned, right? You would have to distribute the 45 here and here, and then solve for x, okay? The answers are on the next page, all right? So that's it for this lesson. I just want to remind you to do the summary, when you have time. The answers are in the back of the book. This is a great way to practice problems. If you have questions, we can chat in Zoom. Thank you for watching.